I'm no genius when it comes to building out these vans by any means. It's a very, very hard struggle sometimes, very, very frustrating sometimes, because nothing is square. You got curves, you've got measurements that start at this point, and down at the other end, you could lose another 2 inches and everything in between. Like I said, very, very frustrating. One of those things is trying to fit cabinets in here. I don't know why I'm struggling with this so much. With my Ford Econoline that I had, about 40 years ago, I was able to order a cabinet right off the JCPenney catalog, like I've shown you in the past. And all I had to do was put that thing together and put it in place. The curves were already cut. It was just a, simple assemble and mount. Well, now I've got a different animal here. I've got a curve on a wall that I need to figure out how the heck I'm going to transfer that onto a piece of wood. And from other videos that I've seen and what I can think of is to make a cardboard template. I just happened to be driving up the street and I saw this guy working on his pickup truck, and I saw that he had gotten a delivery of parts for his truck. So I slammed on the brakes, pulled off to the side. I walked back up to his house. I said, "Hey, are you getting rid of those boxes?" So he says, "Yeah, why? Do you want that?" And I said, "Absolutely." I said, "I'm trying to do a van conversion on my van, and the walls are curved, and I need something that I can lay up against the wall and then scribe it so that I can make a template." He said he was very happy to get rid of it because it saves him from having to get rid of the cardboard. I was very happy to get it because it didn't cost me anything. So I cut one of the panels off and I brought it into the van and I made myself a very crude scribe. And I scribed the contour of the wall onto the cardboard, brought it back in here to my storage unit, laid it on the floor where I could cut it out. And I've had to go back and forth just a couple times, but I think I pretty much got it down. And after laying that piece on the floor and cutting along my scribe line, this is what I've come up with. And I'm going to take it in and see, if it fits the contour, and then we'll go from there. Okay, let me switch hands here a little bit. And I'm just going to hold this up against the wall. And as you can see, it actually fits pretty darn good. And believe it or not, this is the scribe that I came up with. All I did was hold a pencil onto a piece of scrap plywood, and I held with my other hand the piece of cardboard, and I just ran this up and down the wall, and it made a pencil mark on the cardboard, which I then took back inside and cut with my utility knife. But I think for the most part, this came out pretty darn good. And I can take that cardboard template and I can lay it on a piece of plywood or, one of those project panels from Home Depot and trace it and cut it out. For my scribe, I was trying to do this as low cost as I could. I didn't have one available, and all I did, like I said, was hold the pencil in place. I suppose you could take a scrap piece of wood, drill a hole through here, the diameter of the pencil, and then place the pencil in the hole so that, kind of gives you a little better grip on the plywood or whatever you're using. But, you can't beat the price. Scrap cost me nothing. The pencil I had, the cardboard was free. Can't ask for any better than that. This is one of those project panels that you can get at Home Depot. This one is supposed to be 18 inches wide, and I think the real size is something like 17 and a half, and it's 4 foot tall. And from floor to ceiling in the van is just about 4 foot tall, so I thought, This thing may just work out just right. But whatever you choose to do, whether it's one of these project panels or a piece of plywood, the procedure is still the same. You're going to take a cardboard template and you're going to lay it on the piece of wood, get it lined up, and pretty simply, you're just going to take your pencil, follow the template to put the mark on the board, and then cut out the curve with a jigsaw or saber saw and call it good. Whether I stay with the project panel or I go with a piece of plywood is going to be just one thing to consider. Mainly because plywood typically comes in a 4-foot by 8-foot sheet. Whereas these project panels, I think I got the largest, at least the largest I found at my local Home Depot. That was 18 inches wide by 4 foot tall. The 4 foot works great. But once you lay the template down and trace out your mark and cut it, what you're going to end up being left with is maybe 18 inches down in here, and then as you go up you gradually start losing more and more as you get to the top, so you won't have as much storage. If that doesn't bother you, then maybe one of these will work great. But if I decide that that's not going to work for me and I want something a little bit deeper, then I'm going to have to go with a piece of plywood. The piece of cardboard that I had wasn't tall enough to reach up to the top here. All you have to do is cut another piece, tape it on there, and follow the same procedure, or you can go ahead and tape it on there to begin with and then just scribe the whole thing. I end up having from this piece down, and it doesn't have to look pretty, it just has to be functional. My van is a 2021 chevyexpress 2500, and I'm sure the same procedure can be followed no matter what type of van you have. But hopefully this video takes some of the mystery out of how to transcribe the curve of the wall onto a piece of plywood. And if you like the video, please give a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, maybe consider subscribing. Thank you for watching.